Deep within the bowels of the earth, where the sun's warmth is but a forgotten memory, lies the Cave of Shadows. Its mouth is a jagged wound in the limestone, exhaling a cold, damp breath that smells of ancient moss and wet earth. Here, silence is not merely the absence of sound, but a heavy, physical presence that presses against the ears of any foolhardy enough to enter. This is a place of forgotten gods and lingering curses, where time has no meaning and the darkness itself seems to have a heartbeat. Listen closely, and you might hear the whispers of those who never returned.
Among the stalagmites, something stirs, a creature of nightmare, yet possessed of a strange, withered dignity. This is the Jenglod. Once a powerful shaman who sought immortality, he is now a shriveled vessel of a soul, trapped in a body no larger than a doll. His skin is like parched parchment, stretched tight over bones that have refused to turn to dust. With long, matted hair trailing behind him like a funeral shroud, and fangs that glint in the absolute dark, he crawls through the narrowest crevices, a sentinel of the underworld, searching for a spark of warmth in the cold stone.
But the Jenglod is not alone in this abyss. High above, clinging to the vaulted ceiling of the central chamber, resides the Great One, a giant bat of monstrous proportions. Her wings, when unfurled, are like sails made of midnight velvet, spanning the width of the cavern. To the world outside, she is a beast of prey, a bringer of plagues. But to the Jenglod, she is the only beauty he has known in 3 centuries of darkness. He watches her from the shadows, his tiny, blackened heart fluttering with a devotion that transcends his grotesque form.
Night after night, the Jenglod performs his silent ritual. He gathers the rarest cave crickets and drops of mineral-rich water that leak from the ceiling, arranging them on a flat stone beneath her perch. It is an offering of love, a pathetic attempt to provide for a creature that could crush him with a single movement of her wing. He stares upward for hours, his gaze fixed on her breathing form, imagining a life where they could fly together through the starlit sky, leaving the damp walls of their prison behind forever.
There is a legend whispered by the villagers of the foothills, a story of a shaman and a princess who were cursed for a love that was forbidden by the spirits. The shaman was shrunk to a withered husk to reflect his hidden greed, and the princess was turned into a creature of the air to reflect her flighty heart. They say they were banished to this cave to remain forever apart, even while sharing the same space. The Jenglod remembers fragments of this past, the scent of jasmine, the sound of a woman's laughter, and he believes the giant bat is all that remains of his lost beloved.
The tragedy of his existence is the silence. He has no voice to call her name, only a raspy hiss that the wind swallows instantly. He watches as she stirs, her great wings buffeting the air, creating a gale that nearly knocks his fragile frame from the ledge. She takes flight, a shadow within shadows, leaving to hunt in the world above. The Jenglod is left in the crushing quiet, his fingers clawing at the stone in frustration. He is grounded, cursed to the earth, while she belongs to the heavens. His love is a tether that only pulls at his own soul.
Tonight, the air in the cave feels different. A heavy electrical charge hangs in the atmosphere, signaling a storm in the world above. The Jenglod feels a desperate urge to be closer to her. He begins a perilous climb up the jagged walls of the main chamber. Each inch is a struggle. His tiny limbs ache, and the damp slime makes every grip a gamble with death. He ignores the pain, driven by an obsessive hope that if he can only touch her fur once, the curse might break, or at least his heart might find peace.
As he reaches the high rafters of the cave, he finds her resting spot empty. She has not yet returned from her hunt. He waits on a narrow ledge, his breath coming in shallow gasps.
The hours crawl by like insects on the wall. Finally, a sound echoes through the tunnel, the rhythmic beat of massive wings. She returns, but she is injured. A jagged wound from a hunter's arrow mars her side, and she collapses onto the ledge near him, her breath heavy and labored. This is the moment he has prayed for, yet it is born of her suffering. The Jenglod approaches her slowly, his tiny hands trembling. He reaches out to touch her, his heart swelling with a mixture of terror and adoration. For the first time in centuries, he is inches away from his love. He can feel the heat radiating from her body, a stark contrast to the cold stone he has inhabited for so long. He begins to stroke her fur, a gesture of comfort meant to soothe her pain. He whispers a name from a life forgotten, hoping for a spark of recognition in her dark, glassy eyes.
But the twist of fate is cruel. The creature does not see a lover. She does not see a soulmate. To the giant bat, the Jenglod is merely another cave dweller, a parasite or a pest that has dared to approach her in her moment of vulnerability. As the Jenglod looks into her eyes, he sees no princess, no memory of jasmine or laughter. He sees only the raw, primal instinct of a predator. The realization shatters him more than the curse ever did. He was never her lover. He was simply a ghost haunting a beast that never knew he existed.
In a sudden, violent motion, the bat lunges, not in a gesture of love, but in a final act of hunger and defense. The Jenglod does not fight back. He accepts the embrace he has longed for, even as it comes in the form of crushing jaws. His shriveled body, once thought to be immortal, snaps like a dry twig. As his vision fades, he feels a strange sense of relief. The tether is broken. The unrequited love that fueled his existence for centuries is finally extinguished, consumed by the very thing he worshipped. In the end, they are one, but not in the way he got dreamed. The cave returns to its eternal silence. The giant bat eventually heals and takes to the skies again, unaware of the small spirit that once adored her from the shadows. The ritual stones grow dusty and the offerings are scattered by the wind. Some say that on stormy nights, you can still hear a faint, raspy hiss echoing near the cave ceiling, a lingering echo of a love that was never meant to be. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on the dark legends that dwell in the corners of our world. Until next time, stay away from the shadows.